Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you today. I hope you have a very restful weekend. Our topic today is Moses and the prophets. Moses and the prophets. What is the difference between the prophecy of Moses and the rest of the prophets? It is simple. The rest of the prophets needed a condition or circumstances in which they can give or stream a prophecy, and Moses, as it is written, it is mouth to mouth. It comes, the speech comes unconditional. So, as I was asked, or Yanis asked the last few times about Moses, there is no conditional, or there aren't any conditions. Therefore, he can stream a prophecy. In the book of Derech Hashem, The Way of Being, that wrote Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, we find a very good description in which Luzzatto describes what is the difference between the prophecy of Moses and the rest of the prophets. In a way, as the Zohar later frame it, that Moses was in a way prophesying or speaking from illuminating mirror. There was no condition in what situation he was. There was ongoing streaming, and the rest of the prophets were in a way prophesying or giving a prophecy from an illuminated mirror. What does it mean? It comes, the rest of the prophets used to give a prophecy through a dream. Yes, a dream is a mean of communication or a vision. Good morning, Cindy. We are very happy to be here with you today. Good morning. You can open your mic and speak if you wish. Our topic today is Moses and the rest of the prophets. Yanis was asking several questions about Moses, and I thought to start with it, that the prophecy of Moses is an unconditional one, while the rest of the prophets, they have a condition in which they can stream a prophecy. Yes, the rest of the prophets is like actors on stage. If we have seen movies, when we can see actors on stage and the camera shows us how they appear when there's a play and how they appear behind screen, or behind the curtain. There are two appearances. The one that appears to the audience and the actor behind the veil or the curtain. So there are conditions, yes, but with Moses there isn't any condition, night or day, yes. And he doesn't need to go to, some prophets needs to go into a dream situation. Suddenly their head is being laid on the table, like suddenly they fall into sleep in the middle of the day and they go into a situation, yes, and from this situation they stream, yes, and this prophecy considered to be a secondary, yes, to what Moses stream as a prophet, because they have to go into a condition, yes, but Moses, he can wash the dishes and speak prophecy. There isn't any condition needed to stream truth. I hope this is understood. And Cindy, if you have any question on your mind or something that you would like to share, please feel free to share or to ask question. It is interesting that once I saw a TV series, yes, lessons in chemistry, and the character, or the one who was giving lessons in chemistry, once she speak about her childhood, yes, and it was like in the 20s of the last century, 20s of the 20th century, yes, in the South, one of the South countries, states in USA. Her father was a priest. They had a little church, and the father used to give like sermons every week. But people were very, very simple and uneducated. So he always used to read from the Bible, and if the Bible, it is written, then fire came from the heavens, and so he used to make effects in the church using his son. His son, hello, hello, empanadas, hello. His son, everything it is part of the movie or the series. His son was 16 or something, and to show the people that are coming to the church that he is a true speaker, the vicar or the priest, he uses his son, which was about 16 years old, to exploit, to use dynamite sticks in the church, and he used to ask his son to operate explosions, yes, while he was speaking those verses, because he wanted, as a priest, that people will see a manifestation of, so to speak, the word of God, and they will follow him without questioning. So he created those conditions using his children, because to obey. They were afraid from the father, and until one day the brother could not hold it anymore, and he told his younger sister, later she became a chemistry teacher, that the father is using him to create those effects to cause the people to feel like fearful and to obey. And he tells it to his younger sister. So just to, it came to me as an example, yes, to show that there is no need of effects, just speaking the truth. You don't need to demonstrate everything, because once there's a need to demonstrate, people are using it, yes, and go inside. Yes, Cindy. Yes, hello, Cindy, good morning.
Sorry, can you hear me, Eddie?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, what you say is so true. It happens a lot, being and living in the South and Southern states of the United States. Um, but and it's used for control and things and manipulation. Not, I have not heard dynamite go off in church, but I believe it. But you mentioned something yesterday in a podcast I listened to where you said when God says do not do something, it's not because we're going to get punishment, it's because we cannot do it that way to be right in the infinite or be connected. You'll say it better, but maybe if you could speak on that a bit more, about how God is not up there or the source or everywhere wherever he is,
Yes, yeah.
um saying I'm just waiting to whip you if you don't do it this way. He's giving us wisdom and help. um so
Maybe, thank you
does
for the
that make sense?
question. Maybe you mean about the Ten Commandments, or whenever the Bible says you should not do such and such. It's not because somebody will get punished, but it is impossible of doing so, meaning there is no personal doership. Yes, because usually people reading the Bible as a dualistic text. Yes, there's a commanding, so to speak, God, and there are subordinate, yes, readers or so, and there's a dual game Why do people read the Bible as a dualistic text? Because it enforces, yes, their ability to govern other people, because they want other people to obey them. Therefore, they read the Bible, yes. Yes, not just in Christian circles, Cindy, also here in Israel, people who claim that they are whatever religious cycle, they still until today go now to synagogue, they still read the Bible. It's like in a childish way. Yes, there is a commanding God and he is angry, we have to subordinate, we have to obey. And this is to enforce what? To enforce duality, to enforce cause and effect. Cause and effect are a way of thinking that we adopt, yes, when there's a time, like when there's a beginning and end. And there's a cause and effect, or previous and what follows, yes? But most of the people are incapable. It is not because it's Christian and so, because the most of the people who are living are incapable of seeing, not seeing, but have this notion that beyond duality, beyond space and time, most of the people are not able to have access, let's say, let's call it like this, have an access to this. So not just that they read the Bible in a way of punishment, like dualistic way, they read the Bible as a personal story. And when they speak about figures from the Bible, it's about themselves, just dressing in other names. They know what happened to they don't understand. It's not about the people. It's just life happening through names. And this is a mirror of how life is. Yes? So first of all, they take the Bible as a personal story. And of course, in the dualistic way, there's a commanding and obeying or not obeying. And not just this, also there is a continuity in the Babylonian Talmud. Is a text, later text. Also there is, the text is going for what is right and what is wrong, yes? And people, in a way, unable to see beyond what the text is saying, because the Babylonian Talmud is a text that not just takes like sentences of being, but also puts the, how do you say, the disputes about those texts, and then people just believe to the discussions, which okay to read opinions of others, but they miss the first text, which is a being text. So this is because people are capable. It's not because they are Christian or any other, just incapable. Most of the people are incapable because it's a threat. It's a threat to the narrative. It is threaten all the order of life, yes, that there is. Excuse me for this demonstration, yes, but if people go to cemeteries, there is like a stone that says this person or was born in this and this year, under this name, passed away. This is a narration. Yes, this is a narration. And we say it's written in the stone. Yes. People cannot, most of people, yes, cannot conceive that this is some kind of an illusion. Yes, they are incapable. And if you'll speak to them about it, they will say no. Like people say, this is the father and this is the mother. Just give you an example. I remember first grade, and we were, the teacher in the book, there was a drawing of 3 figures. And first glance, they ask you how many figures are in the picture, in the drawing, and the child, 6 years old, supposed to say 3. Yes, There's a grandmother with glasses, a mother and a little child, yes, carrying a school bag, and the how do you say, the educator who wrote a book, which are guiding the teacher to lead the children. The children supposed to say there are three figures, like granny, mother, and granddaughter. But then comes another sentence that says the following: the granny is also a mother. The mother is also a daughter. Yes? And the granddaughter is also a daughter. Therefore, there are six figures. Yes? So to speak, in this drawing. Most of the people, you cannot speak frank. When I speak frank, I mean truth. You can't. It's incomprehensible, because most people are 24/7 are narrating themselves. I live here, I was born here, yes, this is my album, photo album, yes, this is my school, high school, college, I have a car, there are 3 members in the family, 5, we came from here, we moved forward. That you cannot, just can't. They are not even open to this slight moment or opening that there's something else. Yes, it feels scary. Yes, it takes the whole control. Yes, because what does it do? It says that we are, in a way, have no control of what is happening. And suddenly there's a break, the wall, yes, that we build around ourselves, narrating beautiful cities we have around ourselves, yes. Suddenly there's a crack in the wall. Oh, so what I narrate about myself is not real. No, it's not. So if this is not real, so what is real? This is a great question. People do not like to, how do you say, to face those questions. No, there is in a way, a way to protect people from dealing with those questions. They, how do you say, fence or marble themselves with children, and then you always have to be on the run with children, and they're always occupied, yes, because their schedule is, yes, always, yes. The children are like wallpapers. They're protecting the parents from the world, yes. They're always there. Kindergarten, doctor, tennis, piano, mom is a taxi driver. Yes, always something is going on. He said, she said, the teacher, the coach, summer, winter, whatever. You're always out and about, and there's never a slight of moment, empty. And people are really keen about children because it's a protection mechanism. Yes, it's a protection mechanism, because what he is or she doing all the time, doing acting, and the frontal mind is occupied with doing and missions and tasks and errands. And luckily, the mechanics are given from God. This is a mechanical, and you don't need to think or even hesitate. Yes, parents are living through the children. Yes, people are afraid to be lived through, meaning most of the people are afraid from the fact that life is streaming through us. Yes, so something happened, there's children coming, and parents are living through their children because it's an extension. Yes, through the child. Yes, through what is happening around his or her life, there's animation coming from the external world. Yes, so what he brought from the kindergarten, what she brought from school, how was your day, and so most of the people are afraid to have a direct contact, yes, with what there is. So there's many walls of defense, name them, fast cars, mortgages, housing, children, whatever you wish, vacations on Mars, vacations on the moon, yes, everywhere. Just not to face the truth. As long as the machine is running, everything is excellent. Hello, Abigail. Hello, Shabbat Shalom. If you have questions on YouTube, you are most welcome to ask. We shall be happy, yes, to answer your questions. I hope you have a very good weather wherever you are. Once we understand, and it is not, doesn't come, it comes and goes, yes, that we are here because we did not decide to come here. We are here because we were delivered here for life, yes, and there is no need to keep up appearances, yes, to keep those walls all the time, this makeup, yes. What is the narration is like a makeup. There is no need, and a lot of load is falling, yes, just to see that, okay, we're here on this life spans, life appear here, will be here few years, and then we'll move, and this is it, yes. But people are incapable of seeing it. But when we acknowledge this, it has become much easier, because a lot of energy that goes, or sources that go to maintain appearance or maintain narration, suddenly this energy is free from holding lies, yes, or static moments, and then the free energy just releases itself to a new life. And there's so much life in just releasing those bondage of self, or the narration, or the story about who we are, or the sense that we have knowledge of what is happening, or we know everything, yes, because simply we aren't capable of this. Yes, empanadas, South Florida, very pleasant. Yes, very good to hear. South Florida is very pleasant. Also here, the sun is shining, there's wind, but it's a bright day. Sometimes for people it is hard, yes, to admit truth, yes, because a lot of matter is falling at once, yes, a lot of matter is falling. Shabbat Shalom, Basim, Shabbat Shalom. Yes, to admit the truth, a lot, suddenly a lot, yes, is falling, and there's like suddenly, what? Is there just life, just a tree? Because all those walls that we build around ourselves are not there? Yes. We had a professor, great professor in university, very intelligent, and one day his father died, and the student that were coming to his classes, he told him that his father died and he could not function. He went into a deep depression. He was adult man, professor, adult man, and he went into a depression because his father died. So, without now entering the psychological profile of people, as we said before, everyone is a world. Yes, is a world. And just to give an example with this professor, when his father passed away, the world that came through his father disappeared with the movement of his father. And suddenly he was facing with what there is, not with what was coming through the father. Because this world, connections, relations, was not available anymore. And suddenly there was just life as it is, and he could not digest it. He could not, and he went in a very deep depression. He was honest enough even to share this with his students in class. Very respectable professor, wrote many articles. He lived in Britain. A lot of cooperation he did. Nothing helped. When this happened, there was no protection. So when people pass away, yes, also their world or the universe or the connection that used to come through them also disappearing. So where is this world? Where is this world? It's not available, does not exist anymore. Because this is not what is happening. It's like a person, another example. Yes, Cindy, there is a tradition for Jewish. Yes, there is not to mourn too long. Yes, to continue. Yes, not to stay. Even the Kohanim in the Bible, the Kohanim, of course, Kohanim, because it does not exist. It just does not exist. The Kohanim, for instance, what is the Kohen? Kohen is wisdom. Kohen Gadol, high priest, is another name for wisdom. Open the Torah and see that Kohanim are not allowed to mourn. Why? Because they cannot serve the people. A person who is mourning is not in connection with the spirit. It's just about himself, the personal loss, so he cannot be available for the spirit. Therefore, Kohanim are not, so to speak, allowed. It's not about punishment, but it is impossible for wisdom or life to stop when someone's just, in a way, moved away. It is not because they are not allowed to mourn, the Kohanim, because, as I said before, Kohen is wisdom. Yes? And wisdom or And everything goes through this channeling. And the channeling of life does not stop when someone goes away. So the Torah just describes something which is happening. It does not, in a way, act in punishment. The Torah describes what life is. What people make when they read the Torah is something else. What people make from the New Testament is something else. Usually when people read those texts, they do them to what? To control others. This is what is happening. It's very simple.
Eddie?
Yes, Cindy.
Yes. So it makes me think of a story where Jesus was calling someone, I think, to follow him. And the man said, I think, I need to go and bury my father.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, I think, there.
Yes.
Do you know this story?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of what you were saying, like,
Yes. This
yeah.
is correct. This is correct because there's when people give too much emphasis for the mourning, they're not available because what mourning is about in general is the removal of why people mourn, because a layer of selfing is removed. Yes, when he said this, this is example. Yes, he has to bury his father. So regardless of the speech, he has to bury his father. So Cindy, can you open your microphone? And this is just a question. When a person says that he has to bury his father, what is the implication in the sentence now, regardless of the context? What is the implication in the sentence?
He is a son
Yeah.
from his father.
Yes. Yeah, this is it. This is what it's about. Yes, that there's, in a way, cause and effect. That there's a son and a father. There's a previous, yes, figure. And then, yes, this is it. This is what it is about. It's not about feelings. But people misinterpret it. Yes. Because no one, and also when we read other texts in the Bible, let's say Baruch Spinoza, nobody can deliver a body. This is what we are capturing. People cannot in a way capture this. So in time there's a father and there's a son, and he has to bury his personal father. There is not something like this. This is the story that we tell ourselves. So it has nothing to do with the truth. Yes? And in a way, life is happening without... Hello, Fernando. We are very happy to see you here. Life is happening without personal doership. So if the son has to bury the father, there's a personal doership, there's a personal relation between the father and the son, or the son and the father. And life is impersonal. This is the interesting part, but people quoting without going into to see what is happening there. Yes, this is interesting. Just a general question, because usually Shabbat meeting we do this in 4:30 and not 5. Is it easier for you to arrive an hour later? Cindy, Fernando. Hello, Fernando. Is it more convenient because once we scheduled those lessons, there was still winter cloak here. Yes, and now we moved. So if it's easier for you to have it on half an hour later, is it working better for you? Yes, I see that Shabbat is uncertain. I see, I see, I see. Yes. Good, good, Cindy. Yes, you're able in both ways, so it's good. So life, in a way, is impersonal, but most of us cannot come to this recognition. So everything has been done to me. Thank you, Fernando. So people always translate, and there's always translation going. Yes, translation is interesting. Is Targum in Hebrew has the same gematria as Tardema, as sleeping by putting asleep in sedation. Yes, so we always need to translate, and always we are translating whatever is happening is against us, or our, so to speak, interest. The rain was falling on me. Yes, and the bus did not come, and I shall be late for a meeting. But everybody is using the same line this morning will find themselves in different time zones. It's not personal, but we are unable because so there's movement, so to speak, in time. People still are going with this baby mind. Yes, that the world was created for me, and I'm the center of universes, and this is going inside all the time. This is why we have those conversations in a way to space this narration. Yes, and to offer to the hearer there's another way. Yes, because the narration will always bring us to suffering. Yes, it narrows out down. Yes, and there's very self-narrow interest or very narrow story. But life is so huge, immense, and infinite. Yes, this is what all those sessions are about. Just to offer an entry, a door, a window to something else. Question, Fernando, friends here on YouTube. Yes.
Hi, Eddie again,
Yes,
Cindy.
yes.
Uh, This may be more back to Moses, but I have a question about why he didn't circumcise his sons and then his wife did.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you could speak more on that if you want to go that route or have time. Just interesting, something I've wondered about.
Yes, he was hurrying on the way to Egypt. Yes, to take the people in a way free.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And I would say so because it comes to me that he had no personal life to the children. He had no personal relation to the children. Therefore, he did not do it. Yes, he. I know it's hard to get it. Yes, he had impersonal relation to the children. He did not see himself as the father of the children. It's not written anywhere, but this is how it is. Therefore, later in the text, we shall see that he sent his wife. He gave her a letter because he went to a mission, yes, to take the Hebrews out of Egypt. It's like to go to a war. So when a person goes to war, he relieves his wife from duties to him, that she might be free, because if a person goes to a war, he doesn't know if he will come back. So he set her free. The Bible says achar shilucheha, because he sent her away free. Achar shilucheha, this is the term. Achar Shiluchea. He sent her to her father with the children, yes? He did not see himself the father of the children. We just mentioned before the relation between father and a son. He did not see, again, this is maybe hard to conceive, he did not see himself as a father. Therefore, Tzipora, his wife, did it. Yes, because the mother, yes, it came from her. Like they say, there is a saying, how can you know if this, he comes from the mother, therefore it's the mother. It's the son of the mother. It's not the son of Moses. The sons of Tzipora, if I'm remembering well, also the Bible writes about that they are the sons of Tzipora. I speak Hebrew. הם לא בנים שלו. They are not his sons. He doesn't see them as his sons. More than that, he, as the writer of the 5 books of Moses, Tzipora ve'et banea. I would not now operate a search engine on the text, but definitely they are her sons, not his. Fernando asked me this week about Parashat Tazria. Isha ki Tazria, a woman shall, yes, have a seed, yes, ve'yalda zachar, yes, and she will give birth to a male. So, again, those are the children of Tzipora. Therefore, he did not circumcise the child. It's an interesting perspective. Now comes to me, once I saw, I think, Brit Milah, circumcision, I think on the video also. And there was a baby, yes. And there's the Mohel, is the guy who's supposed to do the procedure. Sometimes there are doctors and so. And there's the father. And the Mohel, the one who supposed to make this happen, the procedure, it's like surgery, yeah? But before he makes the procedure, yes, he holds the scalpel or whatever, I'm not, there's some kind of a tool, yeah? He holds the tool in his hand and asks the father to touch just for 1 second the instrument, just for 1 second to say a word, like in a way the father himself, yes, circumcises the son, while he does it, the doctor. So, but he let the father touch the instrument, yes, like he is just an agent, yes, of the father that does it, but in a way the father does it himself, but just touching with the finger with this instrument. So here you can see in the ceremony, yes, that there is a binding, so to speak, of the father, that he circumcises his son. Okay, there's an agent does it, but you see, yeah, the father circumcises, and not Moses. No, this is something completely else, and people just cannot get it. I think that they will never get it, because they don't want to open their mind. What can you do or say? Yes, Fernando. Good morning.
Good evening, Eti. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hello.
Hello, Cindy, Yanis, and Eti. I would like just to say that past Monday, we were talking here in the Zohar conversation, the past Zohar conversation, let's say, about the symbolism of this act, because Isaac Luria speaks a little bit about it. And I think that is connected with what you are speaking now, I think. Because the circumcision can symbolize the moving of the shell, let's say. Not only about the physical way, but it reflects something beyond. And this idea of the family is also a shell, you know. Like,
Yes, yes,
the father, the mother, the country that we live in, this
yes,
is the shell.
yes.
Right? This is the klipa.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to remove it, just as you were speaking before about the impersonal. This is like accidental.
Yes,
So I think that this symbolism is kind of related. This is one aspect. And the second aspect is about the male organ, let's say, that Isaac Luria speaks, that it needs the desire to, how can I say this? It is like, it is not function all the time. I'm sorry to bring the symbolism, but it is what Isaac Luria speaks. It is like, it is not like a hand or something. You need to move your inner desire to make it functional. It is like we to achieve a new way to break the klipa and to make a connection between heaven and earth, between Shekhinah and Hashem in his terminology. You need something that is the will. Somehow it is just a little spark, but you need to move away from this klipa, you know, like to move away from this. I think that one way to say is what you were just bringing, that is the desire to be free from our shells. Even famous people, you know it. Like,
yes,
a famous Kabbalist, let's say, oh, so you are a famous Kabbalist, so we are waiting. So you need to play this role all your life, you know, like it is a role in the stage. But to be in connection with the inner, somehow you need to break this vessel as well. And to always need to bring the essence forth, that is this impersonal, this unity, this, I don't know how to explain, but just trying to bring some elements to know if it makes sense at all.
yes, yes. This is, thank you, Fernando. Yes, this is it. Therefore, to answer Cindy, therefore, Moses does not circumcise the son. She does it. The mother, the morning, yes. Zipporah is also a bird, yes, and the morning, in a way, does it. By the way, circumcision, how do you say, the procedure of circumcision generally is being done only in daylight. Yes, as we find it in Abraham, usually it happens at high noon, at Zenith. Zenith is high noon, usually the Brit is at 12 o'clock high. This is in a way once we were saying that 12 double 12, yes, is 1 second, shall I write it? 10 times 12 is 144, or Adam. Therefore, the circumcision, in a way, is being made in the daylight, not at night. Weddings, you say, at night, sometimes occurring, yes, sometimes day. Weddings at night usually, but Circumcision is in the daylight, like we saw, yes, in the what happens to Abraham, yes, in Genesis 15. There's Brit Ben Abetarim, covenant between the parts in Genesis 16. Everything is being cut to pieces except the bird. ואת הציפור לא בטר. ואת הציפור לא בטר. He does not separate the bird or distribute or cut it. Yeah. It is interesting because tzipora, as the bird, yes, or the appearance of light. What is a bird? A bird tweet tweet when there's a light coming. So the appearance of light, yes. The appearance, again, the appearance of light makes a circumcision. Why the appearance of life? Before there was darkness and now there's appearance of life. So there's a duality. Moses is not in the, how do you say, equation of duality. This is not his place. And he did not do, some people judge him. How could, it's funny because once Yanis brought a question from her friend, a friend built a file against Moses. All those cases that Moses was like a sheriff, yes, in a spaghetti movie. He did not do that and did not do that and he did not do that. You know, like if Moses was a John Wayne in one of the Westerners movie, this is how her friend perceived Moses. But it's not. He did not do it because he has nothing to do with duality. Meaning, if there is a circumcision, yes, it means before the circumcision, there are two. And the circumcision is a bridge that says non-duality, non-two. Yes? This is not his realm. This is why he's capable of taking the Hebrews out of Egypt, because he has nothing to do with duality. This is in a way rethinking of or rereading the Bible. Because people read the Bible as it feels to them, like they read like Grimm Brothers stories, how it feels to them. People just, how do you say, projecting their personalities or how they think in general about the Bible. This is what they do. Not many are willing to look into this. He did not do it because this is not his job. It's very simple. He's not the Father. And there is no darkness before him, that he is the light. There is no condition in this concept of, it's not even a personal, because people always relate to the name Moses as a personality, as a John Wayne, more or less, yes? As a father, as a legislator, da, 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 da. Yeah, everybody's pouring their content, the how do you say, emotional content. But this has nothing to do with emotions. Yes, nothing, just nothing. Questions? So if there aren't any questions at the moment, I would like to thank all of you for participating in this Shabbat session or Saturday session. And I would like to wish everyone a very excellent week to come. Beautiful life. And see you soon. Toda rabba. And shalom, shalom. Yes, Fernando?
Shalom. No, just to thank you, Eti. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon. Shalom, shalom.